guys? Good morning. We are talking about the Matrix. The Matrix, and you are the one. And then Morpheus believing in Neo from day one, even more than Neo ever believed in himself. And isn't that kind of what happens in life, where we need to find our Morpheus and our rock to make it happen here, to really see more in us than we ever believed or dreamed possible for ourselves. The Matrix, if you haven't rewatched it since you got involved in business, since you really started working on yourself, I'm telling you, this idea that we are created a self-contained prison for our minds of playing small, for our minds to just, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking it. And we know all these books, right? We know all of these self-help books, personal growth, business books. We get them, right? We get them, we understand what they are, and we can memorize them. But there's a difference between going from philosophy, theory, to here, and actually becoming the guy or gal, right? Who actually believes in his or her capabilities, her power, their strength. And to go from finding something like MLSP here, finding your leader, finding your Morpheus who pours into you and sees in you more than you ever thought was possible. I'm telling you, critical in this journey, because the only reason we don't have the business yet is because of some story of why we can't. And those limitations, that's what the Matrix is. We're unplugging from that. We're reworking old patterns, programs, old systems, an old way of, our being, our emotions that becomes, our first emotional state, right? When we wake up, and because we've conditioned shame, for example, into our bodies, into our brains so much that we wake up and we're like, oh my God, what, shame there. I almost forgot who I was. Thank you. I remember. And it's not because it's good for us or even what we want. It's just become normal. It's become so hardwired into our bodies, into our minds, that's who we think we are. And now we're going to come into this business and try to unplug from that. And we think that's going to be easy. Guys, hit me with an X. I want an X if you think that this... Hold on. Is this easy? This is our 8-figure business model. We haven't hit the 50 mil yet. We're about to cross it, the 50 million. This is our entire framework. I want, guys, hit me with an X in the chat. Is this simple? Do you understand that, theoretically, that you understand this concept, right? This is not difficult, right? Like the actual steps, the 6 pillars. What's up, Lamore? What's up, man? Awesome. Good to see you, brother. The activities, build, engage, sell. There's 3 phases of growth. You don't even need to get to growth phase 3. We've got 6-figure earners who hang out in growth phase 1 and 2. This is simple, right? Now, here's the deal, at least in my experience, is that this conversation we had this morning, this idea that you are the one, is the vortex. It's the door between you actually doing what you know, believing in it with certainty, you waking up and letting go of the fear and the doubts, or you feeling the fear. Hell, we can flip fear on itself. If fear is what motivates you, throw in the fear of if you didn't do it. That if you have some big visions and a big why, if fear is the motivator for you, throw in fear of not actually getting up and doing this stuff this holiday season. The fear of wasting 2020, the fear of letting December go and you having not made any big shift, and you just keep doing 2020 like you did 2019, right? Not much time with kids, not much free finances, not much impact, not much money coming, all these things, and scare the hell out of yourself. If fear is what is going to motivate you, that's play the game. Scare the hell out of you. Okay? And Morpheus, throughout this entire show, gets him to believe that you are the one. So this doesn't look so daunting. In fact, it's just a few simple things, right? We got some pillars, we got some activities, and we got some growth phases. Okay, cool. What do I need to do daily? Okay, I need to have some conversations. See if they're open. If not, no big deal. Okay, cool. So that's it. And then if they say no, I'm not going to fall into poor me, woe is me. I thought they were going to hit a home run. They were the one, but I'm going here, and that I am the one. And then that's okay. They said no. All it means is no, not right now. All it means is they didn't reject me personally. They're just not ready. And ask them why, right? Ask them, okay, cool, got it. Understood. Well, maybe, when Kathy goes off to college, we'll have this conversation again. But in the meantime, do you know anybody who would like to earn some income on the side working from home if I showed them exactly what to do? What? Like, to just have that conversation, to be bold, to be this guy or gal that is just going to do the thing no matter what. The belief that I am the one, right? To understand that most people are not ready to be unplugged. So helplessly dependent on the system, so ingrained in their own garbage that they're just not ready yet. Does that make sense? And guys, I'm telling you, let MLSP be your Morpheus. Let MLSP be your rock. Let MLSP guide you. Let MLSP nurture you. Let MLSP show you the path, the pitfalls, help you to believe that you can actually do this. And because this is the game. This is the game we're playing, guys. This is not the hard part. Yes, there are tangibles and steps, and we give you blueprints and cheat sheets and step-by-step tutorials, pause and play and go execute. We have that. Why is it then that a very small amount will have success in any MLM business? Why is that? It's because they didn't go from here to here. Because if you did, you wouldn't be complaining about doing the thing. You'd be so in flow. You'd be so in service. If you had some questions, it wouldn't be like, oh gosh, I got stuck. Oh, well, you wouldn't beat yourself up at that point. If you got stuck, you would become the guy or gal who would go to YouTube and ask questions, who would call up a mentor and ask questions, who would hire a coach, who would buy a course, who would go to an event. That's what they would do. Period. They wouldn't say this doesn't work. If you are the one, knowing that, of course, there's going to be obstacles, guys. Those obstacles, thank you, God, for the challenges. Those challenges, those curveballs, those gifts are there to help you become the person you've got to become in order to do what you were put on this planet to do. And if you come from a place of certainty, if you come from this place of knowing that you are the one, freeing your mind from the self-restricted constraints and imprisonment that we've been creating on our limitations. So many of us will fight to the death for our limitations. We'll fight to the death for our story because it makes us unique. Stop. There are better ways to get your significance and your uniqueness than to keep buying into some story that's keeping you stuck, restricted, and playing small. Does that make sense? Yes, you guys, the challenge is ready. MLSPlive.org. Click on the link in the description. All of our affiliates, you can go promote that. Yes, you're going to be able to promote that for the next few days, actually. Because people, your guests, your leads will be able to go back and check out the previous units. Right? They'll be able to go in there and get caught up with the group. And then, of course, for all of our affiliates who share that promotion. Guys, throw an X in the chat if you are using that Facebook Live challenge. Thank you, Baxter. Posting for Profits challenge. If you're using that challenge as a tool, as something right now, like regardless of what's going on in your world, in your environment, in your circumstances, if you're getting ready for Christmas or Hanukkah or New Year's, whatever, family's coming in, you are stepping up and saying, I am going. I am the one. I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of living an old way of being. I'm tired of replaying the story, and I am ready to rewrite it. She cheated on me. He cheated on me. Fine. Guys, who does it hurt if you keep holding on to anger, frustration, and pain because someone did you wrong 5-10 years ago, and you're still living in it today? When people ask you, why are you in this mood? And you go back, oh, well, because My girl cheated on me 10 years ago, right? And then you create that emotional bond. Of course, that fills some needs and you connect with that person on that story, on that limitation. That does not hurt the other person. That's hurting you. That is keeping you here, restricted, small, not going at what you know you should be doing. It's keeping you restricted in the matrix. You're in the matrix with that. So like Neo, let's start to work with that, right? Let's start to play this game of what if I am the one? What if I could create from a place of nothing, let go of the story, forgive, understand there's two to tango, and just come at it, like to be at peace, to be at wholeness with everything in your past, because you're so present in the moment. You're so busy living. You know, if you've got a 5-figure-a-month business dream, you understand you need to be being that guy or gal right now. And what would that look like? What would that feel like? Who would I be if I was actually having, you know, guys, if you had that 5-figure or 6-figure-a-month business right now, would you care about some of the stuff that probably gets you upset these days right now? Could you forgive? Like, would you, if you had that, you know, how would you love? How would you be with your kids? How would you be with prospects if you had the 6-figure business, right? And it doesn't mean, it's not fake it till you make it, but you have to become that guy or gal right now, that joy, that passion, that excitement. If you believe in what you're doing, that product service, you need to get ahead of the event, because that's what's going to draw the event in. And it's not like you're lying to the prospect, you've got this or that. You're just being the person in that vision, knowing you have to do that. See, so many people want the 5-figure-a-month business first, then they'll be happy. Then they'll go do lives. Then they'll go do the blog posts. Then they'll go host the webinars. Then they'll get to the events. No, that's not how it works. If that was how it worked, everyone would have success. You got to deal with this stuff. You gotta let go of the uncertainty, the doubt, and the fear. You gotta be the one. You gotta become the one. Right? Is this landing with you guys? Do you understand that you don't need to wait for a rebirth or a crisis or something in your happen to break you to go and make a decision that you are going to be the one starting today, and you are going to go. Yes, Miranda, I could forgive and move on. I encourage you to work with that, because it's never going to happen. Because if you're waiting for the business or the joy to then forgive, because then you can feel like you got back at the person or you have a better life, so now you can be happy for them or you can let go, that you're going at it. I'm telling you from experience, that's one of the hardest things, man, to let go of that, and to not like play, you know, this isn't like a game in a sense where like you're joking or you're testing it, but like to really be at one, at wholeness, at peace, because you're too busy being in the present moment. Doing that stuff, Miranda and everyone else, you're stuck in the past. You cannot create a future being stuck in the past. That's why one of the best things we can do is call these individuals, just let them know you love them, you've been thinking about them, and that, you know, you don't want to make them wrong for whatever they did, but just to let them know that you love them and you wish them the best. As you grow through that process and you've really leveled up, I should say, right, and become the greater person as far as like, look, I'm just done. I'm at peace now. I want you to know that. I love you. And I wish you nothing but the best. You might get a cool interaction where, you know, there's some apologies and there's some growth there, and you really get, and doing this is not for them. It's not at all. It's kind of selfish. It's for you. It's so that you can liberate this energy that's been bottled up, attached and anchored to some story 40 years ago, so that you can actually step into your Neo, your greatness, understand and do the things that you were born to, because you are the one. That's part of freeing your mind from this self-imposed prison, right? That's some of the hardest, deepest work you're going to do on this planet, which is why so few do it, which is why so few have success, because they keep staying in some racket, some story that's keeping them anchored to some past. And then they wonder why in the present moment they can't create a better future because they're projecting their past into the future. And they wonder why it's not changing. Does that make sense, guys? Hit me with an X if this is making sense. Hit me with an X. And if you are ready to not just dodge bullets, because you won't have to, but if you are ready to become the person where you are just so unstoppable, there's so much certainty, so much belief in what you're doing, who you are, that you can just stop the bullets. You can just understand and realize that there are no bullets. Oof, powerful stuff. Go watch The Matrix, guys. Love it. Have to let go of all the fear and the doubts. And I'm not saying, guys, there's going to be fear. There's going to be doubt. Especially if you're always up to something and you keep growing and stretching, getting bigger, which of course, stuff doesn't go away. After you get one result, you're going to keep stretching and growing, getting uncomfortable, stretching your boundaries always, right? Pushing what you believe is possible. So it's not like that stuff goes away. But there are ways you will find hacks for you to be able to keep going, right? To be able to keep going in spite of fear, to keep going because of fear, to keep going because there's a sign there, like that's where the growth is, right? That's where all the success, all the happiness is behind those doors. God put the greatest things on this planet on the other side of fear. And when you know that, then we have a different approach. Then we have a different thought. Then we have a different, when there is a setback, when there is fear, when there is a challenge, we're like, God, thank you. Not because you wish for more and more challenges, but because in that moment, you're going to be taught a lesson. And here's the thing. If you don't learn the lesson, you're going to keep getting the same thing until you learn the lesson. You're going to keep getting pain. You're going to keep getting resentment. You're going to keep getting anger unless you forgive the person for you and you let go of that. Does that make sense? Like you're going to keep getting more of the same if you keep speaking to it, if you keep fighting for that limitation, if you keep saying, yeah, but he did this, it was so wrong. If you keep fighting for that, I know what that feels like. It does not speak to your higher self. It does not speak to your greatness. It does not help you get to where you want to go in this life, in this business. And when you can let go, and I mean truly let go, when you can truly forgive and become now the one, right? To let go of these self-imposed restrictions, prisons, limitations. Stop fighting for them. Let them go so that you can put your energy on where you actually want to go. You keep focusing on the problems. Guess what? You're going to keep getting more problems. You're going to find reasons to be, literally, if you keep focusing on the problems, you are not only going to create more problems, but you're going to find reasons why they should be there. You're going to find reasons for you to keep fighting for these problems. You're going to find reasons why there should be more problems. Life's so hard. This is so difficult. I'm not technical. Okay, so it is. So it is. Because you say it is. Because you speak it. Those are the self-imposed limitations Morpheus was talking about. Becky, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very kind words. Guys, I just looked at the time. I got to get going. I know I went long on the wake-up call, but if you can't tell, I'm super, very passionate about this subject. Link to the podcast. Love it. Baxter, thank you. If you guys got value, share this video. If you guys are into this idea that you are the one, that you don't need to wait any longer, the time is now that, hey, the only limitations in your life are ones that you give energy to, ones that you create, ones that you say are so, and you have the power. I mean, it's up to you. We don't need to do that. You don't need to live that way. You don't need to do that, right? If you got value, share this video. Much love. We appreciate you. I can't wait to see you guys in the challenge group, mlsplive.org, mlsplive.org. Keep growing. Keep getting better and better. And remember, maybe this will have more weight now when I say this every single time, every single wake-up call, every time we do a training. This is one of my signatures. Remember, you are the one. It's going to be a huge week, guys. Huge week. Appreciate you. Love you. We'll see you in the challenge. mlsplive.org. We say goodbye.